Hi, I'm Oli.
And this is Jordan.
Welcome to the Real Cut Podcast. We give you our unfiltered take on life.
Hey, so you've been
Hi.
busy in the
Yeah,
studio.
welcome to the new podcast studio setup. I hope you guys all like it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it looks great.
it looks awesome.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
anyone watching the video can see that, well, he's been busy
Yeah,
upgrading.
I don't sit well. As you'll notice if you watch the video as well.
Yes, I love it.
That's that ADHD just knocking it down.
Gotta have five things going on at one time.
Absolutely, yeah. I
Yeah,
hyper focused on this and nothing my accountant wanted me to do. So I got to get that done
right. And that's
today.
why you have an accountant,
Yes,
though.
and assistants now and stuff like that. Yeah,
Exactly.
which actually that is something that's new. I did get assistants. It was so funny because handing them like my receipts and everything was like
Yeah.
I felt so almost like shamed. I was like, this is the worst side of me.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
this is the like messy, unorganized side.
Well, and so many times an entrepreneur that works with people,
Mhm.
it like there's a reason that numbers, data, like the P&L, like
Oh yeah,
there's a
all
reason
that stuff.
why that's not what we're doing.
Right. Yeah,
It's
we have
not our
different
strong
strengths.
suit,
Yes, 100%.
you know.
Yeah, where I agree with you 100% because mine, I would say, is way more of a a creative
Yeah.
strong suit. I think that's where I hit, you know?
Yeah.
Um, where I don't want to do the bookwork and all. I mean, no one wants to, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but it's it's almost like not deafening, that's not the right word.
Crushing?
Yes.
Like a
That's a good
crushing
word.
weight?
It is like a crushing
Maybe
weight.
that's not what you're trying to say.
It's anxiety. No,
Uh,
no, but it does. It makes me very anxious. I'd much rather dig to China with a doll spoon
a
than
doll spoon?
yeah, not a sharp one.
Oh,
Sharp would help out. A
doll.
doll.
I thought
Yeah,
you
a
meant
doll.
DOLL.
What? Wait, like
A doll, like a baby doll.
oh.
I'm like, I guess that would be really
Yeah.
small, but
Like the little trash doll from Toy Story,
I don't remember.
Sporky or whatever his
Oh
name
yeah,
was.
yeah,
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 he
yeah,
was
yeah.
a spoon and he was a
He
doll.
was a sport.
Yeah, he was. Well, I
That's
mean, a
different
spork
than a
is part of a
spoon.
spoon. I mean, it's the cousin to a spoon,
Yes,
is what
yeah,
one would
spoon
argue.
cousin.
It's the Alabama spoon.
Yeah.
We're gonna get canceled. No,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so you hate paperwork. I do too.
What?
Or like
Oh, I hate paperwork.
tax,
Yes,
accounting.
any of that
No.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
not good.
definitely an entrepreneur hack. Hire a good
Yes,
bookkeeper,
find your help.
CPA. Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
Yeah,
Leverage. Yeah. So how's your week been?
it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been busy. Ups and downs, actually. Uh, I think with, and not to dive into this, but actually thinking about it, like business has been, like, I'm still busy, but it's been a little bit slower here or there,
Yeah.
right? Like I had a Saturday the other week that was completely open, and that's
Mm-hmm.
unheard of for me. Usually
Yeah.
my Saturdays are
Usually
my
you're
busiest
booked.
day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If not like days before the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with the upcoming election, not to dive into that too much, but how
Yeah.
people act around that time, right?
Right.
There's a
Everyone
lot.
kind of is waiting for decisions of any sort, I've noticed.
Exactly.
I mean,
I would agree.
it's still a healthy market as far as like, the numbers, the data, the inventory,
Right.
interest rates, everything's very good and healthy. But yeah, people are holding back on making decisions right now.
Are you feeling that in your market as well?
Yeah. So even if, everything else is great, just making a decision in a time of uncertainty
It's hard.
is hard for people. Even little decisions, like
Right.
their minds are not thinking about making sure they have the appointment right now. Clearly,
Right. Yeah, their haircut or
their
whatever.
brains are somewhere else, and I think that's
Absolutely.
normal.
Agreed. I would agree with you on that.
That is weird though. That's unusual
Yeah,
for you. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because you
Mm-hmm.
never it never happens. And I was going through and I was thinking of different ways of market,
Yep.
different ways I bring people in,
Yeah.
and thinking if like Instagram's a big one. I haven't made
Mm-hmm.
a new video in a little bit, so that could be something I could throw on there as
Mm-hmm.
far as the reel. But
Yeah.
usually that doesn't dictate out to a whole day off.
What would you
Um,
say like your most like do you have like a lead source? I might be using terms that are different than yours just because mine are more
right. Well, I
real
think
estate,
most people
but
would understand like a general,
yeah,
like a lead gen, lead source, any kind of lead.
client source. Like, do
Right.
you have a how do you meet most of your clients?
A lot of my clients, uh, as far as like brand new clients. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm from a sales background, right? That's how
Yeah.
we met.
Yep.
And so not to be corny or it's a saying for a reason, but I am literally always ABCing everywhere I go, everything I'm doing.
Right.
I bring
Which
barbering up,
means
always be closing.
yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For anyone that hasn't heard it,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Very Glengarry Ross old movie. It comes from
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Always be closing. Um, is just the idea of basically that there's always an opportunity. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you need to force anything down anybody's neck. It doesn't mean that you need to force stuff onto people, but it's always an opportunity.
Yep.
And I take that. I'll be working at the gym and I meet somebody new there at the gym and they'll ask me what I do, and it's as simple as, oh, I'm a barber. Everybody needs a haircut,
Yeah.
right? And usually the gym's been great for me because a lot of guys at the gym are taking care of themselves
Right.
overall, right? And I'm
Yeah.
part of that. I'm part of a daily
Yeah.
routine almost. So, not daily, but
Yeah.
their haircut is part of their daily routine. It's how I mean to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been great. I mean, it's kind of funny because it's almost like picking up on girls,
Mm-hmm.
but it's changed. You know what I mean? Because
You have those skills.
I
It's
do.
like transferable
It is a
skills.
little bit, yeah, yeah. Because that's how, like, the way I was just about to describe it, I almost laughed because, like, my brain made the realization. I was like, oh, yeah, I grab guys out of the grocery line. Like, I'll be anywhere. I'm just like, hey, man, you need a
You're
haircut.
picking up.
Yeah, just picking them up. And it's so dumb. But, but it's a pretty easy thing because it's going to come into conversation, as I'm sure it does
Mm-hmm.
probably with real estate, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, Instagram is a great uh, resource for me because a lot of people can see my work. They can also see the kind of atmosphere I have because my
Mm-hmm.
atmosphere does matter for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of people in Salem who do amazing haircuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's about finding the people who do it the way you do it and also that you like being around.
Right.
That's a big part of it.
That's huge.
Yeah. So that's a big one. Google would have to be my number one as far as brand new clients who haven't heard of me or I haven't gotten to talk to personally,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Like who are just out there in the world. And it's a great one. A lot of people are just looking for barbers in general. Google is essentially like the new yellow pages,
Right.
you know.
Yep.
Like I actually was on a walk with my son the other day and we talked about that, about how I was like, well, okay. So I was like, we were taking a walk, and I would jokingly start running away from him every now and then, like
Yeah.
acting like I was gonna ditch him. I wasn't, of course. He's 16, right? He's not just this young child. I'm like
Right.
leaving in the wood. Yeah,
Totally.
you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
just want to be clear, but like just as boys do, like just joking around,
Yeah.
right? Um, and he's laughing. We're having a lot of fun. So I told you that though to tell you. What was I getting to? See, this is like I went back to go forward again and I forgot where I was going. I'm running away from Lyle and I'm just ditching him. We're having fun. We're just goofing off, right?
Right.
Okay. So I tell him, I'm like, what would you do? We start just because we're just walking around talking. I'm like, what would you do if I did just like take off? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, what would your good? I just want to see what his survival skills are at, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not actually going to do it, obviously. And he's like, I'd call 911 and I'd
Oh.
call the cops on you from child abandonment.
Oh,
And he's like,
no.
and I was like, okay,
He's
well,
not messing
no,
around.
no. I was like, all right, buddy. I was like, that's very dramatic. That's a little much.
Yeah.
I think what you need to do is I was like, I would say first call me
Mm-hmm.
and say, hey, where are you at?
Yeah, oh, calling you wasn't
Yeah,
a
it wasn't the first
oh my
reaction.
gosh,
No, no,
that's
his
so
first reaction was to
funny.
call the cops.
Oh, that's so
Just
funny and
immediately.
awful.
Yeah. Well, that's my Leo son. I joke, obviously. But and so we talked about, I was like, listen, like, if you call me and for whatever reason, I wasn't going to come get you
Mm-hmm.
or something like that, right? Um, and you can't get in touch with your mom or somebody else, right? Or your Tia,
Mm-hmm.
uh, then you would call the non-emergency number. You wouldn't
Okay.
call 911 per se. Like this isn't like you're not in immediate emergency danger. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because we want
Is
to leave
he
that
old
line
enough to
open.
get an Uber?
I mean, yeah, I would think
I
so. He's
don't know if you have to
16.
be 18 or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think whoever orders it might have to be 18.
Oh,
Because
okay. So he
I know
probably
people who put
couldn't.
their kids on there before.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but
I was gonna say he could just get an Uber home.
yeah, absolutely. He's got
But I don't
options.
know if he, yeah,
And
has to
that's
be
kind of what
18.
we got into. I was like,
What
I
are
was
the
like, do you know how to
options?
look up the number? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay. Well, anytime you don't know how to look something up, it's Google.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to plug it.
Google
I'm
it.
not trying to, but like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's where we're at nowadays.
I
Like
Google everything.
everything. Same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We did it in our one of our episodes. I was editing out. We went through and
Uh-huh.
Googled because
I
we were doing the
knew.
Florida Woman Challenge.
Right.
Yeah, which was a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
With Flynn Rider.
We should do that. I wonder if that would work for any state, like like Arkansas or something
Oh,
random.
yeah.
Arkansas
Arkansas.
man.
Yeah. Arkansas man.
What
I'm
would
gonna
come
look
up?
it up right
All
now.
right.
Uh,
Do think of a random number.
birthday again, or
Yeah,
just like a
but think of
different.
one number and I'll think of a second one.
Okay.
We'll put together a date.
Okay. Are you month or day? You be
I'll
month, I'll be day.
perfect.
Okay,
Okay, so I need to go first then, right? 4
12.
or 12. There we
Okay,
go.
so April 12th. Arkansas man,
We're so
April
off track.
12th.
I love it. Let's
Yes.
see what comes up.
Oh, oh, this is not,
Is it
this is
not?
not, it has to do with something happening to a young child.
Oh, we're not gonna, yeah. Okay.
But the other half of it is he killed his grandma, which seems that, I
Wow.
mean, that happened with the Florida man as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. That's not quite as
So,
fun.
but there was something else that is just a huge trigger warning. So
Yeah.
we should
No, we're not gonna,
probably, I
yeah.
think I just said trigger warming. So
Warming.
that is quite absolutely what I said. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, let's stay out of Arkansas.
It's
I'd
warming up to
prefer, we'll go
triggers.
back to Florida.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's
oh
do.
my gosh.
Well, that's the end of the Arkansas
Oh
Man
yeah, never
Challenge.
mind. I'm not, remind me to never go there.
It's a quick, I
There's evil
mean,
people everywhere.
that's a
Really,
true.
truly is.
Unfortunately.
But that's so funny. My kids all range in their independence level.
Mhm.
Sophie is the most independent. She would be just fine. In fact, if she could legally be able to, she would
Mhm.
probably survive just fine on her own.
Oh
She
yeah.
knows how to cook, clean, pack her stuff, knows all the phone numbers, knows what to do in an
That's
emergency,
awesome.
is responsible, clean, and she's just turned 13. So
It's on top of the world.
it's weird. The other ones are like
Yeah.
they wouldn't know it too. They all know my phone number, our
Okay.
phone numbers,
That's good.
and they know exactly what to do if we're in a busy location and we get lost, which has not happened before.
That's good. Okay.
But if we're at a fair or like, we sometimes we go to like the Oregon Gardens and it's packed at night for the Christmas lights,
Right.
and that would really suck. It would be easy to lose.
Absolutely.
So they have strict instructions to find a mother with children.
Oh, smart.
That's a pretty low risk
Okay, as far as
stranger
strangers.
to go up to
Right.
or a worker. But I have instructed them to go to a mother with children or a father with young children.
Have you watched People Under the Stairs yet? See,
Uh-oh. Does that have to do with this?
that's parents in it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's
You gotta watch that movie.
it's never happened. And then when they were really little, I
That's
just
good.
Sharpie my phone number on their hands
That's smart.
when we were in public places. But
That's really smart though, the Sharpie. That's
like
a really good
hopefully
idea.
they can memorize the phone number.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, finding yeah, I'm sure our businesses have some similarities and some differences
Right.
as far as finding clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there would be a lot of things. I know there's a lot of things I need to take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to, and this is something I'm going to break into as far as like generating email clients and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's not an area I touch at all.
Oh, okay. Right.
I know there's another area as far as like I I could mingle more with business owners. I really don't go to a lot of business functions.
Uh-huh.
Like I love your functions. I always go to all those. Those have
Right.
been great for me as
Mm-hmm.
well. And I go to a couple others, but I could do more of that. As far as that goes, just being top of
Yeah.
mind for anybody, right?
I think I love networking with business owners Of course, because they're like-minded and I can give and I can learn. And
Right.
it's just, I mean, there's that. That's like the primary reason. But something else as well, and I'm the same way for them, is they have employees,
Hmm.
they have staff, they have reach, they have influence.
Right.
And so if you talk to a business owner like that, you're actually reaching their entire business,
Right.
organization, reach, people they talk to every day. If
Absolutely.
you just talk to a person that's an employee somewhere, which is fine, but when you talk to them, you're just talking to them. Maybe
Right.
they'll tell friends about you, but the reach from more of an influential business person, you're able to reach way more people
Hmm.
just from that one connection.
Right.
And so that's why business owners that want to be in front of agents, they'll talk to team leaders like me because they know I can then tell my entire team.
You've got the trickle down system.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
So
sense.
you can be strategic in it. But
Yeah,
we have a great professional network here.
absolutely. I would agree. Everybody I've met has been really great.
Hmm.
It's been a good, really good experience.
Yeah.
Um, as far as all that goes.
Where did your first few clients come from?
My
Do you
very
remember?
well, uh, my loins, my son,
Hmm. Wait, what
my
was the first word you said?
loins.
Oh, I thought you said mellowing your son. I'm like,
Um,
huh.
I think
I
that's
know
the, I
I
think
took
that's the
my
term.
sons to you,
Yeah, no, absolutely. You were
and
some of my first
Anthony
as well.
fell asleep during his first haircut by you. Do you
Hmm.
remember that?
Hmm.
He just slowly fell asleep.
Yeah,
So,
I've got pictures from it still.
me too.
Yeah,
He
I'll
was
say.
like 5 or 6.
Yeah, he's a tiny little guy. Your kids were some of the first, and that's kind of how it works. I had a friend, Brian,
Hmm.
who I cut his hair. I still have him. He's still around. He's still a friend,
Yep.
but he was the one of the first as well.
Yep.
And then my good friend James Oak, him and his kids, I cut them, and that's kind of how it goes.
Kind of your close circle, and then it went out from there.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you want to do it with people you're comfortable with is first. I mean, with my
Hmm.
profession, it's a performance almost,
Yeah.
and it's a performance with really sharp objects. And that first, that was the scariest part,
Mm. Yeah.
was like, am I going to cut these people? Like, am I going to hurt them? Is it going to
Right.
be, am I going to do it too short? Is it going to look horrible? There's a lot of variables and things to worry about. Um, but you just kind of stop worrying about it eventually, I think. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Right.
Um,
And as your skill, confidence,
it builds up,
all of that.
right?
Yeah.
Which is great.
My first few my first two were friends.
Yeah,
Um, and then the next two were coworkers because I had a corporate job for my first 2.5 years in real estate. I did both.
right.
So then I had some coworkers and then I had a family member. So it started off similarly.
Absolutely.
Um, but I mean, at first I was getting ran around by scams, and there's so many scams, people reaching out to you
I
saying they
bet.
want to buy a house, and then they're scamming you, or there's something they're trying to hack, or
Right.
whatever their objective is, they're not real.
Right.
And it's so
It's just a
frustrating.
waste of
But
time.
there's been a few that have been pretty entertaining. But it's like when I was
Yeah.
brand new, I didn't know that they were jerking me around.
Right.
I thought they were real and I was trying to figure them out because I really wanted to sell them a house. Like I didn't really have very many clients.
Absolutely.
So I was just like giving them my all just to find out that they were not actually ever going to buy a house or were fake.
Oh, yeah. And that's got to be the
So
worst feeling.
yeah. But I like my very first one that this that this happened. Uh Do you wanna hear what he
I would
do you wanna
love to
hear
hear.
it's actually pretty entertaining. I went back and found it because I remember it just so clearly because he was my first it was a Facebook lead on my business page.
Okay.
Now, I do have a business page for the team, but
Hmm.
now I tell agents, like, if I'm training them not to have a business page with their name and then a personal one.
Okay.
People, as far as for agents, they like it combined
Yeah, that makes sense.
because they are selling themselves instead of the service because there's billions and billions others that do service. Yours is different because people are going to want to see your result,
Right. But it's
you
it's
know?
similar though. You're right. Like, but I found as well, like I post rarely on my personal page anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Most of that I post on has been my business page. And when I added the personal touch to it,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed an upscale.
Yeah,
So I bet like it's the same thing. Like
right.
I can
They
understand what
want
you're
to
saying.
see you. And
Right.
like you put yourself in so many reels and show your personality,
Which I used to not want to
you
be in front of the
know?
camera at
Yeah.
all.
But those are the ones that people want to see
Yeah,
because
they
they want
loved
to
it.
come for you. And
Hmm.
yes, they need to know that you have a wonderful product,
Of course.
which you
Right.
showcase that too. But
Absolutely.
mhm. Yeah. So
But yeah, I want to hear. So I could only
my
imagine what
first
some people
one
wrote
was
you.
so confusing, and I was trying so hard to convert this lead. Whereas if this came in now, it would just, I would block them.
You don't waste your time. Yeah.
Like not even close, but that's just
But in the beginning, you want
with
anything you can
learning.
take. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
would cut
didn't
hair all kinds of
know.
hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So, but yes, so this gentleman reached out at
Okay.
5 in the morning and said, "Are there any new properties available?" He sent that message several times.
Okay.
Are there any new properties available? Yeah,
Are
again
there
and
any
again.
new properties available?
And then gave me some details about the home he wants. He
Okay.
said he wants to have a 5 bedroom with a garage, able to pay 2,000 or 2,500.
Hmm.
So this is before COVID. So the housing market hadn't exploded yet.
Right.
It was about to, but it hadn't yet. So that was just a 5 bedroom for that price. Now that would be very hard.
Right. But at
But
that time, it was
then it
doable.
was like probably doable. Yeah.
Okay.
And so he said he was a veteran Vietnam Marine. And he said he started making sentences that did not make sense.
Okay. So it started going like incoherent
Mm-hmm.
or
Yes.
incoherent. I didn't even say that.
Yeah, incoherent.
Incoherent. Yeah.
Yeah, except that would be, I think it's just audible.
Yeah.
I don't think you can write incoherently. I
I
think
don't
it's
know.
just, I don't know. We can Google it.
We'll have to Google it.
All right. So for example, he said, looking for home for sale. I'm a veteran Vietnam Marine,
Hmm.
$3,300 a month, went for a house payment. That's where my negotiating skills aren't. They might be a little bit, but I know if I put a bit, $3,500 a month. So I could tell there was something
He's like
going
kind of getting
on.
through. Right. Sums up.
And then I proceeded to get two super blurry pictures of, it looks like plates of food
Right.
or something. And
On
then
like a church bench.
yes, there are like plates of like tacos or something
Right.
on like, yeah, a church like
That's
pew
what it
looking
looks, right?
thing.
Like a pew. Yes.
And in one of them, there is a blurry leg kicked out towards the tacos. And so that's just a nice touch. So then I said, hello,
He's trying to
his
show you his
name.
investments.
Yeah, like, thank you so much for your service. I'd love to meet with you to discuss, blah, 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 when you're available.
Right.
And then he said, I would like that very much. And then he went on with a sob story. He's saying, we've been at the mission, we've gotten sick and pneumonia before they rent a separate apartment. Runs on for quite a while,
Right.
just spitting out numbers and, you know, and
Like
then,
it's sentences that just don't make
yeah, it
sense.
doesn't
Yeah.
make sense. It gets weird, really weird in a
Okay.
minute. But as of right now, I am trying to tell him I would love to help you achieve this goal. Oh, he mentions a barber here.
Oh,
He said, okay, yeah, Flores, yes, we like to avoid serious about this. True, the barber, you want your office, and I'd meet you, set up a plan. So there's that.
wow.
So then I sent him a beautiful, eloquent message
Of
about the
course.
next steps, got a thumbs up. And then I sent another one about how to get pre-approved with a lender.
Of course.
And then he said, yes, you are so appreciated. And yes, thank you for getting me. What kind of house? 555. You know what my birthday is, honey? 555.
Uh,
And then I was like,
What?
oh. And then he says, the man been trying to sell the house for a few years now. You are so appreciated. And yes, thank you for getting me. What kind of house? 555. Hi. Would you like to meet for drink? For I don't for milkshake, or I don't drink really. Yes, I like dinner. Maybe I'm with my nephew and his wife. I've been here in Lancaster. And so then I said, are you wanting to purchase a home? And then I got a series of texts to which I did not reply.
Yeah.
He said, country for you, concrete for sale. Do you have a girlfriend? You would have a boyfriend. CIA, you tried to tell. Good as handsome as I am, by all the way to West Africa, Uganda. And how I would tickle your fancy would be.
What? Wait, did he say he's so handsome? Like he's as handsome to Uganda?
As I am by all the way to West Africa, Uganda.
And then tickle my fancy? What was that?
And how would I tickle your fancy would be? It's like Yoda kind of.
Yeah, it's like Yoda. Oh, I taught him. That's what he said.
So that's your new pickup line for the women
That is. I'm gonna
that
be
you
like,
would tickle their fancy.
how you doing? I would tickle your fancy. They'd be like, what?
Can I tickle your
Can I tickle you?
fancy?
Has your fancy been tickled lately?
My God.
So,
Oh, I dare
I've got to try
you.
it once. Got to try it once.
You've got
You only
to.
live once, and
Yeah.
there's only one time I'm going to be able to say it. I'm probably going to get arrested afterwards, but I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it eventually. I can say that.
Yes,
I'm I'm
please
I'm
do.
happily
Please
able to
record
do
it
that.
so we can play it
That's
on
going to be
this
the hard
podcast.
part is recording it. But
Yes. Just do
especially
it
if
to a
it's
random person in the grocery store and then walk away.
just walk up with a
Of
video
course, they
thing in
might.
their face and be like, "Hi, may I tickle your fancy?"
That's so
That's
aggressive.
what I'm saying. Like, how does this go down?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It
hello,
sounds
miss,
so
may I tickle your
different.
fancy?
There's so,
How
yeah,
do I?
British
Yeah,
accent.
does it help it?
Like, there's so many ways you could say that that would
Yeah,
have a different meaning.
that's right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
man.
Like, how am I gonna
Excellent.
be like, hey man, what's up? Trying to get my fancy tickled. You know what I mean? What? How did you never?
You say it to a man?
Yeah, maybe. Like, how's the night going, man? It's good night, just trying to be out here, trying to get that fancy tickle. Just trying to be a fancy tickler. I don't know. Like, how do you?
Make a shirt that says that.
That I'm a fancy tickler? Is that what it should say?
No, tickles.
Trained in the fancy tickling.
I'm a black belt and fancy
Black
tickling.
belt and fancy tickling. There we go. That's the shirt. Well,
So it's a sport at this point.
it should be.
I
I mean, I feel like it is. There's I
feel like
was
I'm a
actually joked
professional.
I joked with Gary about fancy tickling. Well,
You
no.
did.
Well, yeah, so for anybody listening, Gare Bear is my counselor.
Okay.
And we were joking about like, well, I feel like lately like it's dating's been like in and out, right?
Yeah.
And that like girls are very much welcome to be around with me for a physical time,
Right.
but it's like I would rather have the long time actually right now.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger,
Yeah.
man, I loved it. It was
Yeah.
great. I've had a lot of
Totally.
fun. Had a lot of
Yes.
fun. But I
As you
told
mature, though, it's very normal for that
right.
to, yeah.
Well, and I'm trying to build things, right? And I'm trying to build. So it'd be nice to have somebody to build with, as
Yes.
well. Because I have, like we were talking about earlier, flaws
Mm-hmm.
and things like
Yes.
that. And like we all do.
We
So
all do.
yeah,
Except me.
yeah, you're
I'm just
perfect.
kidding. Yeah.
Right. It's my fingers to it.
Yeah, I know. I
Crossing my
know.
fingers for the people listening.
I
Um,
am not perfect.
but
Disclaimer.
disclaimer. But
Gary.
yeah, so I was telling Gary, I was like, I would almost trade it in for being good at one side of things to be able to be good at keeping somebody. You know what I mean? That would be nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that side of it. Um, so the being a black belt and fancy tickling, that sounded a lot funnier in my head, but it
Yeah.
kind of made it sound
Yeah. Yeah. Fancy tickling. You
fancy
got to get
tickling.
good at that. Maybe that's how you'll.
I'm all right at fancy tickling. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna brag about it. Just like I could brag about it. You know what I mean? Like you don't brag about it, right? Like it's just one of those things you don't talk about. You just do.
Yeah.
Like
Yes. I feel
like
like people should bring back that term.
fancy tickling. I agree.
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that it's a great term. That's what I'm saying.
Thanks.
So if I go up to somebody and record them in
Yeah.
the grocery
We'll
store,
do it secretly.
okay. So
Is
I'm
that
gonna need a
legal?
second
Probably
person.
not.
Probably
Maybe
not.
just the voice memo.
Maybe if I
The voice memo.
blur out their face or get them to sign something
Yeah, I
afterwards.
think you'd have to like
People do it.
blur or sign. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people do this. I mean, you
Yeah.
see it all over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot of things on the internet. Doesn't mean they're,
Yeah.
yeah, right or legal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
all of it. How did we get on a fancy? Oh, he wants to fancy your tickle. Or he wants to tickle your fancy.
That's all different. That's it. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh,
Oh
I looked up
my gosh.
555 as well because he kept saying it.
Yeah.
Because like I have a lot of friends who like believe in numbers and
Yeah.
numerology and stuff like
Uh-huh.
that, right? And so 555 is considered an angel number that represents change, transformation, freedom, and personal growth.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
So I
that'd be a good
wonder if he was
tattoo.
putting it in there
Yeah.
because he was talking about changing and buying a house and whatnot, or if
Mm-hmm.
it was just random.
I feel like it was probably random, but
Hmm.
I like that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that was a thing.
Yeah, like 444, if you ever see that or anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or 111, all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or
I'm gonna look into
1111,
all
all
these
those
now.
things. Yeah,
Good go.
1010.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Okay. And then he said, "Do you know Bugs Bunny? Yak's a Yak's a green kid. Harper, yes. I love Bugs Bunny."
What?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, read
And
that one more time through again.
do you know Bugs Bunny? Yak's a green kid. Harper, yes. I love Bugs Bunny.
Like what?
Yes. And then he said, "Yes, I don't need Bugs Bunnies. I eat, and yes, sirree, Bob. What else is there to eat?"
But he's
Oh,
talking to himself this whole time. Like, did you say anything back to him in between
no.
these?
Yeah, no. He's just like running his mouth at
You're
this
right.
point. I just am imagining him sitting there, like next to his church pew of taco plates
Right.
with his little legs
It's just dangling
swinging and like, yes. So, and
as he's typing it. Do you think, okay, so Bugs Bunny came. Do you think like cartoons are on the TV? Does he have a TV
maybe.
on at his place? You know what
Yeah,
I mean? While he's doing all
maybe.
this
With his tacos.
with his little
That's
tacos.
is he's living his best life.
That is his best life.
And then he says, "Me and my cousins or nephews." Does he not know which one
No.
he's hanging out with? His cousins or nephews. "We go
Are they
hunting."
both?
Ugh.
Could it be one of those
Is
situations?
that possible
I don't,
for a
well,
cousin to be a nephew?
could your cousin be a nephew? I have to think about how that all
I don't know.
works.
I would need a flow chart.
Right, exactly. A flow chart. Exactly. That's why I was like, I gotta look at
We
it.
can Google it.
Like I gotta visualize that.
Me and my cousins or nephews, we go hunting and we're going to Bush, I assume Bush Park.
To
We,
hunt? I hope not.
you know,
Yeah. What are they
maybe
hunting in Bush Park?
that he does not say.
Have you been? We used to run
It's
Bush
little,
Park. What is there to hunt?
yes,
There's an owl that attacks people
there's an
randomly,
owl. Yeah,
and then
and
squirrels
people.
and people.
Hmm. Ooh,
Sorry, not to interrupt.
ooh. We're going to Bush. We eat it all home. You will never have to worry about that. I will keep you at go find liquor store before.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. How was New Year's? Any New Year's Eve? That's nice. He's like asking about my New
Yeah.
Year's. Of course, I don't know what.
He asked if you had a
This
New
was
Year's Eve.
probably in January around that time because I did get licensed end of December.
That
So
makes
that
sense.
tracks.
How's
And then it goes south because then he says, "Mine was dreaming about you. D word. I'm going to talk dirty because I thinking out of the box at Dairy Queen with a thumbs up."
thinking out of the box
Thinking
with
outside the box
Dairy
at
Queen?
Dairy Queen,
Isn't that
which I
Taco
do
Bell?
respect that
Being
because if
outside the
I
box?
what?
Think outside the box or outside the bun? It's
Oh, is
Taco
that
Bell.
oh,
Taco
that's
Bell.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
Anyways,
Oh,
but so
yes.
I, so he's at Dairy Queen getting obviously a sugar high. He's getting
Yeah,
crazy.
he's probably getting multiple highs.
Yeah,
And he was thinking outside the box at Dairy Queen, which that
absolutely.
part I agree with. Like if I was going to sit down and like brainstorm and like
Hmm.
think outside of the box, I feel like Dairy Queen would be a great place to do that.
A better place with a blizzard.
Yeah, like actually, I should do
Yeah.
that. And then he finishes it off with, if I were a little late, would you love for me? My number of times I got my one knee and said, you love you. And then I proceeded to completely continue to ignore him. He sent me several selfies,
Wow.
and that was that.
Yeah.
So
Did he have
there
great
we go.
fashion?
Did he?
Yeah. What
Well,
was his fashion like?
in the picture,
I mean, I loved his khakis.
it was the same picture just with different filters. One was black and white and one was sepia. Yeah,
Oh,
he had a t-shirt on
I
and
love that
some
you know it's sepia.
sunglasses.
Can I just say that's
You
like
did,
no
yeah.
no guy would have been like, this is sepia.
Oh, really?
No.
Would you have known that?
No, I would have no, no,
But do
no
you know
idea.
what I'm talking
I
about? Where
do.
it's the brown tone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there may be, I shouldn't speak for all men. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's men out there who
Yeah.
would know,
Wow.
but
Just
yeah,
you're already
I'm
generally.
kind of that guy.
And yeah, so t-shirt and sunglasses and a mustache, and that's just that there we
He's
go.
just a handsome
So
guy.
that was
Yeah.
my first internet lead, and I realized very quickly I need to screen those
Right.
without spending time and energy.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't blame you.
there we go. So finding
I don't blame you.
finding clients, finding leads, it can be really hard.
Yeah.
In real estate, we get a lot of fakes.
Yeah, I bet. I bet that's got to be something as well. Like, I know I'm down here in the barbershop alone. And
Hmm.
I've had concerns about people coming in late or whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, and you have to show homes.
Hmm.
Like, I'm sure there's concerns and stuff around that.
Like safety.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I don't show homes by myself unless it's somebody that I know
Yeah,
or have met with several times and there are no concerns.
that's good.
So I always bring someone with me, sometimes even just to sit in the car.
Yeah,
But if I'm hosting an open house, I always have someone with me, a
smart.
lender, somebody, another
Hmm.
agent that I can train.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't
That's
mess
smart.
around,
Yeah, I bet.
And I do have a concealed carry, but I am not implementing it because honestly, I don't need to. I just have somebody else with me.
Right.
But
Well,
the
the goal
point
is you should never
is
have to use it.
yeah, right. So, so I have that, but there has not been a time where I've needed it. So,
Good.
and I think all agents should be very careful. And
Yeah,
also, of course, I take self-defense classes regularly.
that's
So,
right. If you guys don't know, Jordan is a regular badass.
yeah,
Does Krav Maga.
you took it with
Yeah,
me for a while.
I did.
But
Yeah,
you do the gym
I do.
and I don't do the gym. So
Yeah,
we each have our things, our
that's right.
lanes.
I go and I
So,
do cage fighting in the back alleys
yeah.
on the weekends. I don a cape and mask and fight.
You're too pretty to have
How's
to be any kind of a
that?
cage fighter. You have not one mark on
You're too
you.
pretty. Well, you know what? I
I
don't know
know
if I should be
better.
insulted or complimented right now, but I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, there we go. Take it as you will.
That's right. Well, thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, you're not wrong. Like those guys who are fighting all the time, like just even in practice, get beat up. Like I've got a couple of them,
Hmm.
and they come
Yeah.
in and they get like they'll just have a big old knot. I'm just like, what
Yeah.
happened? They're like, oh, I caught an elbow during practice. I'm like,
So crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you have a background in trained
Absolutely.
fighting,
Right.
but
I've done some stuff in my
mm,
lifetime.
yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, safety's big, but I'm with you. I think social media is one of my top lead generation sources, but
absolutely.
it isn't just because I meet new people on there or they find me. It's
Hmm.
actually because the relationships that I have in the world, like kind of like what you said, like when I'm out in the world, when I'm meeting people, when I get along with people, when I go anywhere. I've added people to my social media in the grocery store, at the kids' birthday parties. I try
Yeah.
to add 5 people to my social media or in some way to connect with them or in my database, 5 a day.
Okay, that's what I want.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes quite a few more. But
Yeah.
yeah. So today I've added 7 already,
Oh wow.
new people and had conversations with them. So a lot of conversations to
Yeah.
get, we do about 2 closings per month
See, that's
or more.
hats off to you on that. I, well, so my job, it's so hands-on, literally,
Mhm.
and I'm talking a lot of times too, that it's hard for me to want to talk after work. So
Right.
like I really like that's awesome that you do that and put in that time and actually message people too. Because I would that sounds I don't that sounds horrible to me. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. And
I
you put
do
out the
have
effort.
to, yeah. But
Yeah.
I get up very early. I send out a lot of messages before people wake up because honestly,
Perfect.
people have their stuff silenced. I have no
Right.
shame. I'll just send it. If it's a text, eh, I will make sure I know the person and have already had that conversation with them.
Right.
But as far as like social media messaging, I blast out so much
Hmm.
and just comment on people's things, send them a message, note of encouragement, asking how they're doing. I love sending, like, I actually send 3 handwritten cards every day to somebody.
Wow.
So a normal thing would be to, so I don't know if you noticed on my Facebook today, but I put in there who has a November birthday.
Oh, okay.
Everybody that responded, I DM'd and asked for their mailing address and I wrote them a handwritten card today.
Ah, that's awesome.
So
That's super cool. I
things
did see
like
that
that.
post. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
have one, so I didn't write in it.
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's, I mean, I do several things like that a
That's
day to
awesome.
make sure I'm having a meaningful connection.
Yeah.
And social media facilitates that. A lot of people go, oh, doom scrolling or it's so fake.
Mm.
But I use it as one of the most important free tools in my business because I can actually
Absolutely.
maintain all of the relationships.
Yes.
Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to stay in front of them
No.
and stay connected with them. So,
Right. So people do it does it is a huge thing about being just top of mind.
yeah.
Yeah. I had that time with my Instagram when it went out south
Mhm.
and I lost
Yeah.
that. And I saw a
Mhm.
huge dip in service and how many people came in. And I had multiple people tell me as well, well, I thought you quit. And I'm like, you thought I
Wow.
quit my passion?
Right.
Like, yeah,
The
like,
business you built
yeah,
that
because I'm not
you
on Instagram. Like,
right.
that's not my
Yeah.
job, but
Yeah.
apparently it is,
Yeah,
you
they
know?
look.
Yeah, 100%.
And I tell so as far as in real estate,
Hmm.
99% of millennials and boomers and Gen Z obviously, but even baby boomers start
Right.
their home search online.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and 77% of real estate agents are online with a
Right.
social media presence. And so I tell my agents if you choose to not maintain a very good social media presence,
Hmm.
then they're going to compare you with me. They're
Hmm.
going to pick me because mine is dialed.
Right.
And so I try to encourage them to have the best that they can possibly have.
Yeah.
And I help them with that. But
Well, and it is a lot of humans, a lot of creatures. Um, but we're creatures of habit as humans, right? You
yeah.
know, and not even of habit, but of what's available,
hmm
you know, and
And what's
convenience.
comfortable too, though. Like,
Agreed.
so it's hard to go outside your comfort zone in social media is going outside a lot of
Hmm.
people's comfort zones.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm
I know that it was a big step up for me. But I think it's been great. And I think you can say that you would agree with this as well. Like, as far as it's been really good. I think we've both done different areas. Like, I have standard haircut videos, but I've also gone beyond that.
hmm
Right. And that's something that's made me different. I know from a lot of barbers, a lot of people come to get haircuts, talk about my funny videos. They talk about
Right.
the triathlons we're doing, you know, and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right?
hmm
Not even like they're like, "Oh yeah, I know you can fade great," but then they want to talk to me about all the extra, right?
Yeah,
And it's the same thing with your videos.
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
your videos are great. They're so much fun. Like you make hilarious content.
uh,
And it's not even like just hilarious to give you credit. Like it's very informative as well. Like you guys
hmm
find very good ways about getting information carried over
Right.
so I don't just sit there and go, "Oh, that's another like video." You
hmm
know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
this is just
Yeah.
another
I
real
do try
estate
to have
agent.
a mix because
Right.
one of my businesses is new age education. So,
Absolutely.
of course, I'm going to put some of that out there. But yeah, the funny is everybody likes, and maybe a few people don't like funny videos and
Right.
they can F off because that means I don't want to work with them anyways.
100%. Yeah,
Like,
they're not your
bye.
clients. Yeah.
But you definitely need to check out Mike's page today because he put out probably his funniest video yet.
Yeah,
He is very funny.
he is.
And so mine are different kind of funny.
Right. Oh,
But
absolutely.
I when I woke up and couldn't sleep this morning at 4:30, I made myself a reel,
Good.
and I actually made a second reel later in the morning. So I put out 2 today. Whoa.
Nice.
I thought the first one was yesterday, but it was just so early in the morning.
You've
Probably
done so
shouldn't do
much
2 in one
already.
day. Ooh,
Yeah,
but yeah.
that's so funny.
So,
Um, that's how
yeah.
it works sometimes. Lyle and I had a that's awesome. We had the same time, like we were just up early yesterday and got a lot of things done by like 12. He was just like, I can't believe you've
Yeah.
done all this already.
Yeah.
You know,
Those days are the best. You just knock it all out.
it's just done. It sounds like you've been doing
Mhm.
the same. I need to get in and make another reel. Um,
Mhm.
so that's a side note. It's always good to have something loaded up and unlocked.
Right.
I had a person come up to me in the gym today and say that they were all caught up and they were excited that we were launching, that it was Monday for
Oh,
another one of
that
our
is
podcasts today. Yeah.
awesome. Shout
Um,
out to whoever you are.
yeah. I don't know if they want me to say that, so you know what I mean? I haven't yet,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not everybody wants to
They'll
be
know.
thrown out in the spotlight. Yeah.
I would say though, I did want to share one of my system, I guess, for
Yes.
putting out social media content
Absolutely.
because I will say my skill is not being original.
Hmm.
I said that wrong. One of my skills is not being,
So
I'm
I think
not
you
good
said
at
it
being
right.
original.
Yeah. But
I'm good at
you're doing it on.
repurposing with my own twist.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Some people can create their own sound or take a sound and turn it into something else.
Hmm.
Sometimes I can do that, but usually I'm repurposing something else that inspired me, but maybe turning it into a real estate
Okay,
type video.
but I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I
Yeah,
would argue that you're still creative because
right.
there
It's
are,
not exactly the same.
right. I mean,
Hmm.
there are all kinds of artists who have taken something and then
Right.
revamped it, right?
Yes.
Music is known for that across the board. Tons of
Right.
artists have done that. They
Hmm.
take an older song, revamp it to
Make it
something
cooler.
new.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're doing. I would still argue
Right.
that you're very creative.
That's true.
Especially if anybody's seen the pumpkin you painted this last. That was insane.
Did you say I
Like,
won the contest?
yes, of course. Killed it.
I was at a business networking
Okay.
event
Hmm.
called Better Together here in
Okay.
town, and
Cool.
anyone is welcome. And I was there with a friend that I brought,
Yeah.
and they were handing out a flyer for that pumpkin painting or decorating contest.
Right.
And I looked at my friend and I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna win this." And he's
Nice.
like, "Okay," laughing, I'm like, "No, no, no, I really am."
Yeah.
He listens to this podcast too.
Awesome.
And like, I'm sure he didn't, I mean, he probably believed me. Like,
Right.
he's a positive guy, but
Right. Right.
I still was like hoping that he didn't believe me because then
You could prove them.
I was like, I just want to show him that I can do this. So as soon as I found out I won, I sent him that
Okay.
and I said, I did it. I told you I would do it. And he was
That's
like,
awesome.
cool.
I get that though.
Uh,
You're like, I
yeah.
almost want you to doubt me.
I,
Like, 'cause then I can show you how awesome
There's
I
some
am.
great entries.
We're there.
There were two other ones that I was a little worried about.
Yeah. Did they get like second and third?
Yeah,
For the
they
runners up?
did. So
Okay.
mine was the most detailed.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what got it because there were some imperfections, but it was
Okay.
just the most detailed. So I think people
So funny.
voted for the effort more
Such
than
an
anything.
artist comment right there. There were some imperfections.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is okay, which is all right.
Every artist always
But
can see like something they don't want. Yeah.
yeah, so I paint 2 or 3 times a year. I'm sure if I did it by trade or,
Hmm.
I would improve quickly, but it's not my career passion, but I do love to do
Right.
it. But
Well, and you say improve, but I don't have any like photos to load up, or if I maybe by the time I edit this, I might. Like, she's very good at what she does.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so my two things that I do though for constant social media
Yes.
content inspiration
Hmm.
is one, when I see reels that inspire me or I laugh at or I think are funny or I'm
Okay.
like, I want to do this. And a lot of time they're not about social media or excuse me, real estate, but then I can add in real estate. It's
Right.
funny. But anyway, so when I see those, I save them into a folder I just call it to make.
That's smart.
And so instead of just saving it in general, I put it
Right.
so that way when I'm ready to make some content, I open that up and I pick the one that I'm feeling that day. And then the second thing that I keep is anytime I'm doing an open house, anytime I'm not anytime, but often when I'm working on the computer,
Right.
something like that, I do take some B-roll footage of myself.
Okay.
And then I put that in a folder in my iPhone. And I have an album that's called Future SM Social Media Posts.
Hmm.
So then I have my folder of footage and I have a folder of inspo. And so then I can like
Smart.
oftentimes pull something from each.
Yeah.
And so that's something that helps me, just in case anyone listening is like, I want to do better content,
Absolutely.
but I don't know like where to start and I don't know how to create things.
Yeah, taking
That's a great way.
inspiration and then keeping it in an area to be able to remind yourself what. I think that's
Hmm.
really smart. I know I've sent stuff to you
Yeah.
and like we need to make that. And I sent it to you on purpose
Yes.
because then I know where it's at. Like, and it's the
Yes,
same idea. Like
exactly.
but making a whole other folder, I never thought about that. That's really smart.
Yeah.
That's really
So that's
smart.
what I do personally because I save
Yeah,
all sorts of things. I have different
absolutely.
folders for that.
I
But
do.
yeah.
I started making notes of ideas because I'll come up with random ideas. I've stolen some
Hmm.
ideas as well. Like one of my very popular videos where I have the razor to the guy's neck. Like,
Oh, that was so funny.
thank you. I stole it though.
It
Like
was
that was
so
yeah,
funny.
that was
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
yeah.
He did a
And the
great
blow
job.
dryer
Yeah,
to
the
the
blow dryer to the
temple. Oh,
temple.
that was so funny.
I saw it. They were hairstylists who did it, and it was hilarious because one of them had the straightener,
Yeah.
and she clamped it at the girl, and she goes, and like that part cracked me up so much. Like clamp,
Yes.
clamp, And
Mhm.
I was like, how can I do that?
Yep.
Because obviously I don't have
That
that.
was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, and then you put your own twist on it, and there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I have done a few original things, and I had somebody I've seen multiple people, my friends that are
Mm.
like, can I remake this?" Yeah, absolutely. They remake it. I'm like honored by
That's
it,
so
and it's
flattering.
fun to see
Yeah.
their twist on it. It's
Hmm.
a totally different video,
Yeah.
And so anyways,
I love
so
that.
I don't mind it, so I know it's
Well, and it is. It's such a flattering thing. I would love for
okay.
other barbers to come to me and be like,
Yeah.
hey, or even to see it. Like
Mhm.
that would be because you do see trends,
Right.
you know what I mean, as far as like certain stuff, especially when you're looking at a lot of the same content
Yeah. Yep.
overall.
Yep. Yeah. And so, yeah, I guess we're talking a lot about social media, and that's totally okay because it's such a great way to, maintain relationships with your clients or potential clients or people that might send you business. One of my other favorite ways, just in case it helps somebody, an agent, because this
Hmm.
is definitely something that I believe every real estate agent should do. This is social media is free unless you pay for an ad. Like it's free, it's a free marketing tool. It's very powerful.
Absolutely.
Like you, like if you own your own business, you should 100% be using it. Like it's not even a doubt, even if it means hiring someone to do it for you.
Right.
But like, so my favorite thing, so I do this every day as well, is on Facebook. I'll type in birthdays into the search
Okay.
bar. And then everybody that has a birthday, I open up my camera and I send them a birthday video. So I literally click their name or click message. I open it. I point it at myself. It's always first thing in the morning because I
Right.
do this between 8 and 10 every morning. It's kind of my
Okay.
routine for social media. And so I am always look like I just woke up. I'm usually wearing Mike's shirt
Yeah.
and I don't have makeup on or anything. So I never watch it back because then I'll get hung up on how I look. But
Right.
I know that they don't care because it's authentic. Like
Right.
people like real people.
It's a
And if
genuine
I just
video.
look done up all the time,
Right. It would seem
that
more fake. It
won't,
would seem fake.
yeah, exactly. And I just don't want to be, I see people, there are people that,
The fact that you're taking time to actually do this,
yeah,
like, I'm sure they have friends
they
that they
don't
probably had
care.
for lifelong that have
Yeah,
never even done something
right.
like that.
So I
Yeah.
send out birthday messages
That's
every
great.
day, and the responses are just so sweet. I sent this, you can see, I just look whatever, this
Hmm.
sweet man, and he
Hmm.
said, Jordan, thank you for taking the time this is today, to
Hmm.
wish me that. It is a blessing, and I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like the responses are just sometimes they'll send you videos back.
Oh, that's
And it's
cool.
just like, it's a great way to connect with people to have a reason to reach out to them. And then plus, as an added benefit, Facebook changes the algorithm. So now your guys' stuff is in front of each other. You can start building a
Mhm.
relationship. And
Smart.
so, and then I have realtor in my profile picture. So if my profile picture is in front of them in a message or a comment,
Right.
which it is, I don't even need to talk about real estate because
No.
they know what I do.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're just building that relationship.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Hmm.
That's really, and you're doing it in a genuine way, which is what I like
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Because
You
it's
know,
about the relationship. And if I
absolutely.
never sell them a house, who cares? We made each other's worlds a better place.
Absolutely. Which was what
That's
matters
what we're,
overall too.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Making,
So,
bringing making it nice around, not nice around the world, but however,
what'd you say?
I said making it nice around the world. I
Nice
mean, like,
around the world.
yes, in
Let's just
general, but
tickle some fancies.
just some tickle some cheese.
Just all around the
That's
world.
that's what that's my retirement plan. It's gonna travel around the world tickling fancies.
Goals.
Oh,
Goals.
oh
Uh,
man. Oh. This is this is my goal.
yeah,
This is who I am.
it's your new life goal,
I'm a
anyways,
fancy
as of
tickler.
today.
Yep.
But okay,
Awesome.
what would you say before we go?
Yes.
What's your top social media tip that you use to get clients or that you found clients by doing?
Um, Starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that just doing it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not everything I've put out has been an ace, right?
Yeah.
But doing it and just getting it going has been like, as dumb as it sounds, sometimes you have to just put something out to get comfortable with putting stuff out,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're gonna fail or flop or anything like that. And I know I got so insecure about putting myself out there because I didn't want people to judge me. And you
Yeah.
almost just have to do it,
Right.
because it is one of those walls that you have to break down with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
yeah,
did it get easier over time?
no, I mean
Oh,
that.
it's still,
Oh wait, what?
did it get easier over time?
Oh
Like
yes,
from then
I
to
thought
now?
you said to get you zero, like anything
Oh,
over time. I was like, no, I got a lot from it. Um, I totally misheard you.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it got a lot easier.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it got even fun. Like I started looking into
Yeah.
production side of things,
Mm-hmm.
and enjoying editing and stuff like
Right.
that. And
Which obviously you're very good at because
it's
you've
led to
created
all of
this
this.
studio. Yeah.
Yes, I know we have a studio. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
So
I would say my tip is it is proven that after 10 days, people will forget you if
mhm,
your stuff is not in front of them. Like their brains, then it's
okay,
just gone. And
yeah,
so if another agent is in front of them more than every 10 days, they're going to remember that agent instead of you.
that
So
makes sense.
not only do I know that I want to be in front of those on my social media, for sure every 10 days, but I aim for 7 or less.
Okay,
And so that works very well for me because people
awesome.
know who I am and what I do and that I still do it.
Mhm.
I don't do anything else.
You haven't
This is
quit.
my job
Yeah.
and I love what I do. And
Yeah.
when they think of real estate agent, I want them to think of me.
Right. First
So,
up.
and it works.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I
but
like that.
great point. Just start it and be consistent.
I'm gonna adapt your seven.
Yeah. Well, you do it. I feel like you do it consistently.
I do. I try, well, and I try to, but I don't like,
Mm-hmm.
I do it like anything in my life. That's
Yeah.
something I'm trying to work on too, right? I live it like a cowboy, like Wild West. Like I just kind
Mm-hmm.
of do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you just wing it.
yeah,
You're blazing the trail,
exactly. And life would be probably a
tickling
little bit
fancies.
nicer. It's what I feel like I should be like spitting into a platoon and be like out there just tickling fancy.
Freedom Rider.
Freedom
Was
Rider.
that her name?
Yeah, that was Freedom Rider out there
Freedom
tickling.
Rider.
She's tickling fancies. Yeah.
I know it was the other lady that had the belt buckle,
Yeah.
but can you not picture Freedom Rider galloping on a cowboy horse?
Wait,
Lassoing her belt buckle over her head,
is there a different
tickling
style of
fancies.
horse other than cowboy horse? Is there another style of horse?
I don't think they call them cowboy
I don't
horses,
think they
but
do.
in my mind, it's in the Wild West and it's galloping.
Yes, I love
So
it. I love it.
just
Well,
a
with a
horse, I
name like
guess.
that, Freedom Rider.
Freedom Rider.
Freedom
That is a
Rider.
great name.
Yeah, if I ever have another kid,
Yep,
Freedom Rider.
Freedom Rider.
That's what I'm gonna.
Non-negotiable.
Non You hear this, ladies? I'm not dating, and I have a vasectomy, but for the next lady I'm gonna have this child with.
Freedom Rider.
Freedom Rider.
Oh yeah.
That's his name. Or her
Well,
name. Or their name.
yeah.
Yes.
So politically correct.
And we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well, on that note,
we should wrap it up.
we should
Yes.
ride our freedom on
Right
out
up
of here.
freedom on out.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Well, until next time, thanks for joining us on the Real Cut podcast.